everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and today I'm here to tell you about my Nonfiction November TBR. I cannot believe that October has gone by this quickly, but nonetheless I am very excited about the books I have chosen to fit this year's prompts. If you're new here and you don't know, Nonfiction November is a readathon hosted by Olive at A Book Olive every year to try and encourage BookTube to read more nonfiction. Every year she gives us 4 buzzwords that we can interpret however we would like. And so here are the books that I have chosen for this year. Firstly, for the prompt web, I have chosen Murder by the Book by Claire Harmon, whose subtitle is The Crime That Shocked Dickens's London. And I picked this book to fit that buzzword because this is a book all about links. It's the story of a murder that took place in Dickensian London. And so obviously there's the web of people trying to figure out who did it, why did he do it, etc. However, the other part of the web is that when they eventually find the perpetrator, they discover that he may have been inspired by a particular novel that came out. And so then the buzz begins throughout society in general to talk about, can fiction really drive people to commit crimes? It's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm really excited to read this. For fraud, I picked up The Secret Rooms by Catherine Bailey. And this sounds incredible. I am going to have to read the back to reference people's names. But this is about the Rutland family. The 9th Duke of Rutland died in 1940, and his son ordered that the family archives be sealed after his father's death. But then 60 years later, Catherine Bailey became the first person allowed into those archives to see what had been kept secret for all of those years, and discovered that the 9th Duke, who had been heavily involved in the lead up to World War I, had, and I quote, devoted his entire adult life to organizing and cataloging several hundred years' worth of family correspondence. But he had carefully erased 3 periods of his life from the record. And so Catherine Bailey is on a mission to discover why he had changed these documents, what had happened that he was trying to hide. That sounds incredible. For Capital, I chose How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell, because this subtitle is Resisting the Attention Economy. So looking at our attention and our time as a form of capital. That just sounds wonderful, and it got great reviews here on BookTube a few years ago. And then finally for display, I have 2 choices. I have 2 books here about kinds of people who lived their lives on display and displaying their wealth to other people. I'll decide further on in the month which of them I'm going to read. But my choices are either Cavalier by Lucy Worsley, which is, as the cover suggests, the story of a 17th century playboy whose name is in fact William Cavendish, who's a name I vaguely recognize, but my 17th century history is not terrific. So I'm intrigued to find out more about life in Charles I's court. Yes. Or I could go with Courtesans by Katie Hickman, which looks at the lives of various public and well-known courtesans in the 19th century and their lives of, as the cover says, money, sex, and fame. The women in particular that she looks at are Sophia Baddeley, Elizabeth Armistead, Harriet Wilson, who I've read about, Cora Pearl, and Catherine Walters. So I could read either of those for display. I'll see how I feel. So those are the books that I hope to read for Nonfiction November. I may mix other books in there as well throughout the month, but you'll find out about those in my wrap-up at the end of the month. Let me know if you are participating and what books you've chosen. Let me know if you are participating and what books you've chosen, or if you have other nonfiction recommendations for me based on the books I've shown off here. Until next time, be safe, be well, and happy reading. Bye everyone.